Okay, people, it is the year 2025, and I am about to actually discuss a possibly very legitimate rumor that not only are we getting a new Star Fox Adventure style game in 2025, but also that we might be getting a new F-Zero game in the near future as well. This is not a joke. This is a real video. I'm actually sitting down to talk about Nintendo potentially reviving both of these franchises with new entries, not remakes, in 2025, maybe early 2026. And that's not something I expected to do, well, not on January 3rd, but here we are. Of course, if you are new here and you enjoy Nintendo Switch speculation, I would appreciate you subscribing, but let's get into this rumor. Alrighty, people, welcome back to the channel. I really appreciate the support on yesterday's Switch 2 rumor video, in which I talked about a custom robo game and a more Double Dash akin new entry in the Mario Kart series. I guess the theme of the week for rumors is GameCube era games, because we now have a rumor from none other than Samus Hunter that we are getting a new Star Fox Adventure style game as well as a new F-Zero game. So this is crazy, and usually, like, this is what happens, I feel like. In the Wii U era, everybody was like, oh, new Star Fox, new F-Zero, new Star Fox, new F-Zero. Early Switch days, people were like, oh, we're gonna get a new Star Fox or a new F-Zero back in like 2016, 2017. And here we are with the lead up to the Switch 2 reveal, and we're talking about a rumor of a new Star Fox game and an F-Zero game, but this time it does feel a little different given how Nintendo has been really going back to their old dormant IP. I mean, we got a new Another Code, a new Endless Ocean, Famicom Detective Club is a thing, we got a remake of Advance Wars. Like, I feel like anything is on the table, and if Nintendo really wants to differentiate the Switch 2 library very early on, having a new Star Fox game and a new F-Zero game, not remakes, would be a great way to do that. And I think there's actually a conversation to be had about Star Fox in particular, and how they might actually want to push that franchise more in a way that they've been pushing Pikmin, potentially, because I think Star Fox kind of has a pretty wide appeal to it if they actually do it right. But let's get into this rumor. So it comes from a Samus Hunter. If you're not familiar with Samus Hunter, they used to be a joke. They used to get everything wrong, but in 2024, they were surprisingly accurate. Now, some people think it was lucky guesses. I'm not here to, pass judgment on that. They accurately said that the new Emio game that was being teased, they said that was Famicom Detective Club. The day before it was announced, they were teasing a Xenoblade Chronicles X announcement that week. And then most recently, a couple days before the Super Nintendo World Donkey Kong themed Nintendo Direct, they were teasing that there would be some sort of Donkey Kong event in the very near future, and well, what do you know, that happened that week, I believe. So whether or not you trust Samus Hunter in 2025, that is entirely up to you. I will say that, like, the more they tweet, the less confident I am in their leaks and stuff, right? They were also saying, like, Metroid Prime 2 and 3 are coming out in February, or I should say they said between Donkey Kong and Xenoblade X, so that remains to be seen. They were teasing Hollow Knight Silksong stuff. That remains to be seen. So a lot of it is up in the air, but for those three things, they were right about those three things. That is undeniable. But like I said, you could maybe argue those were lucky guesses. But we have a new rumor from them that they dropped on New Year's Eve, but then kind of elaborated on just yesterday morning, and that is the potential of a new Star Fox Adventures style game. So this is crazy. So this is what they said. She said, I hope that 2025 will give fans of classic Zelda-like games a new adventure to enjoy, and that they will appreciate it despite it being a game from another series. And they capitalize the word adventure here. And, not looking into the capitalized A here, I was like, oh, we're going to get like a new Star Tropics or something. Yeah, something more like top-down action adventure-y. But they elaborated yesterday morning saying, I have seen some people interpret it as if this is a remake. It is a new game, not an old one. It's a little strange after Zero, resuming a formula from the most unique title in the series, but I've heard good things about it, so we'll stop right there. We'll read more of this about F-Zero in just a second, but they are pretty clearly teasing a new Star Fox adventure-style game in 2025. And I'll be the first to admit, a new Star Fox game was not on my bingo card for 2025. I believe that we will get new Star Fox and F-Zero games in the future on Switch 2, but the idea that we'd be getting a new Star Fox game in 2025 is not something I was expecting. I think there's also maybe a conversation to be had. Well, is it possible this is a Switch 1 thing? I know people don't want to hear that, but I think it isn't, completely out of the realm of possibility that whatever this is actually a Switch 1 game. I hope it's not. I hope this is a Switch 2 game. But a return to Star Fox Adventures style gameplay, that is a smart way to go, I think. Now, I'll be honest, I have not played Star Fox Adventures. I have also not played Assault, but if they really want to make Star Fox like a thing, going back to what Star Fox Adventures is, which is, a cult classic, that kind of makes sense. And Star Fox has really been trapped in that loop of just redoing what Star Fox 64 did. So if they want to break the pattern, what if we got a new like Star Fox Adventure style game on the Switch or Switch 2? That'd be very exciting to me. And I think it's funny that, you know, Star Fox Adventures is close to like a classic 3D Zelda is, right? That's what Samus Hunter is talking about here. It's funny that, you know, we're getting these open air Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom Zelda games. We will probably not get another 3D Zelda game, at least in the next decade, that is more like Ocarina or Majora's Mask, without it being a, you know, full remake of one of those games. We're not going to get a new Zelda entry that is like that, with the classic dungeon designs and all that, classic dungeon items. What if Nintendo's way of kind of pleasing those fans is a new Star Fox game that is basically a 3D Zelda? I mean, honestly, that kind of makes sense. So, in an era of them going back and reviving so many dead franchises, I think this is the right choice for Star Fox, you know. I definitely questioned who would be making this game. I mean, that is completely up in the air. I tweeted about it yesterday. I threw out the idea that maybe it'd be Platinum Games. Platinum is definitely not in a good spot right now. A lot of their main directors and producers have left the studio, so I don't know if they really even have the bandwidth to do that, but they do have some history with Star Fox. They did work on Zero, so maybe it would be Platinum. They have action chops, right? So maybe it would be them with heavy assistance from one of Nintendo's EPD groups. Maybe it would be done entirely internally. I feel like that also is possible. I've seen a lot of people throw around Next Level Games. I mean, honestly, like, Next Level could do it. I do believe that Next Level could make a Star Fox game. I would just be very surprised if they aren't doing Luigi's Mansion 4 right now. But maybe the reason we got LM2 HD in 2024 is because, well, they know LM4 is not cooking, right? Like, maybe LM4 is going to be the second Switch 2 project. We get Star Fox Adventures 2 or whatever it's called in 2025, and then we probably wouldn't get LM4 until 2028, 2029 at the earliest. Maybe LM2 HD was their way of kind of just like, hey, here's some Luigi's Mansion for you. You know, there's a bit of a stop in the middle there before we get the next mainline new entry in the Luigi's Mansion series. I would have to go back and check. I feel like I remember Next Level talking about how they want to do a Star Fox thing. Maybe I'm confusing them with Retro, but Next Level on a 3D adventure Star Fox game would be awesome. And Next Level, I mean, they have a history of going back to all these random Nintendo IP. They did Punch-Out, they did Federation Force, right? So if they wanted to do a Star Fox game, Nintendo would probably let them, and I mean, the quality would certainly be there. Luigi's Mansion 3 is one of the best looking Switch games. Imagine the fur effects on Fox and on Crystal if they bring her back. And following up on what I said earlier, Star Fox is not as marketable as something like Pikmin or even Splatoon. However, I mean, it's Star Wars, man. The space pilots and these like little animal creatures, like that is still very marketable, even if it's not as marketable, right? Even if the games are a little bit more serious, if Nintendo wants to have another pillar franchise, I think Star Fox is actually a pretty good fit after Pikmin. Fire Emblem, Xenoblade, these things are going to do what they're going to do, and they're going to sell pretty well, but they are niche no matter what. Metroid could also be that, maybe, but I would say that Star Fox has more, oh, it's a cute animal talking in a pilot suit. That is more appealing to a wider audience than something like Metroid. So out of all of their dormant franchises, or out of all of their franchises really, beyond Pikmin, beyond Splatoon, Animal Crossing, Zelda, and Mario, even though Star Fox historically has not sold very well, given where we are with Nintendo, we're getting movies, we're getting theme parks, we have a music app now, we have an alarm clock. I think out of all of their franchises, Star Fox is actually one that would make a lot of sense to push, just maybe not with the on-rail shooter gameplay that they're known for. I mean, those games are great, but I don't know how popular a game like that can really get. Like what's the upper ceiling limits of an on-rail shooter? I don't think it's very high, but a 3D action game in the style of the old Zelda games, that could do really well, especially if it is propped up as one of like the major year one titles on Switch 2. So I really hope this is true. Like I said, I have not played a Star Fox Adventures. I have also not played Assault. I want this to be true, though, because I want, you know, we have a pretty good rotation of a lot of Nintendo's major developers making these major Nintendo franchises. If Next Level Games is working on a new Star Fox game and that becomes a secondary franchise that they're alternating between Star Fox and Luigi's Mansion, Star Fox, Luigi's Mansion, or something like that, that would be really exciting just to have it in the mix again, right? And just to kind of fan the flames of the fire, we have a tweet from Liam Robertson back in June of this year talking about how great Star Fox Assault is. This person replied, "You buy Zippo's story that an HD version is coming." Of course, Zippo, notorious, not an accurate leaker. Liam Robertson replied, "Well, there is something happening with Star Fox, but I have never heard about that specifically." So Liam Robertson, if you don't know who Liam Robertson is, he does a lot of great like journalistic like deep dives into canceled games on Did You Know Gaming, as well as I think it's Game History Secrets is his series. He does a lot of really great kind of exposés on canceled games, right? So he definitely has connections in the industry, especially with Nintendo developers, and this would actually maybe lead some credence to the idea of it being Next Level Games, I think, because Liam Robertson has definitely done a lot of stuff about Next Level Games. So he was saying back in June that he heard something was going on with Star Fox. And then also this is just really weird, really random. I did not hear about this until I was doing research for this video. Apparently in the code for Switch Sports, there's just a bunch of references to Star Fox. Like, this is so random. Maybe this means nothing, but I do find this a bit peculiar. Why is this in here? I don't think EPD4 would be put on Star Fox, given that they make the casual multiplayer games. They make your 1-2 switches and your big brain academies with Indy Zero, right? So the idea that they would do Star Fox, definitely a little weird, but this is worth noting. There are references to Star Fox in the code of Switch Sports, which is a pretty recent release. The last Star Fox game we had was Star Fox Zero, and then, you know, the collab with Starlink in 2018. So this is definitely weird. I'm surprised I didn't see more people talking about this when it happened. So yeah, it sounds like we might be getting a new Star Fox Adventures style game in 2025, and I really, truly hope that is true, because that would just be awesome and really add another layer of diversity to Nintendo's lineup of games that they're, you know, kind of cycling through. But next up, from Samus Hunter, also, in the same Twitter thread, they dropped 2 bombs on us, if it is to be believed. They said, "By the way, a game from another series that has long been rumored to be coming back with a remaster/remake should actually be a new title instead. But I will talk about this in the future when I have more information. There is a hint on the game in this thread." So, I mean, you could maybe pull out a couple things here, but realistically, she capitalized Zero. Now, maybe that's just because it's Star Fox Zero, but the way I'm reading into this, I don't really see any other words in this thread of 3 tweets here that suggests anything other than F-Zero, especially because there have been so many rumors over the past 2 or 3 years, I believe from Nate the Hate and as well as a few other people, that F-Zero GX would get a remake or a remaster. That was actually rumored, I want to say back in 2023, and it's been constantly talked about since. So that's a prominent one. That's a prominent rumored remake. And Samus Hunter is saying that instead of a rumored remaster/remake, it'll actually be a new title. So the only thing, in my opinion, that really fits that criteria is F-Zero. Now, they're not saying that this will come out in 2025. I don't believe this could be a 2026 thing, maybe even further off, but that would also be incredible. Once again, I don't know who would do it. Maybe NST. They just did F-Zero 99 and the Mario vs. Donkey Kong remake. I'm not sure if they have the bandwidth to do a full, like, brand new, like, $70, $60 F-Zero game. But once again, just what I've been saying, Nintendo's been bringing back so many franchises. And I know a lot of people don't like to count F-Zero 99 as a new game. It is a new game, even if it looks like an old game. There's clearly interest within Nintendo to bring back F-Zero. And while I would expect GX to come back first as a remake or remaster, maybe F-Zero 99 did well enough that they're just like, you know what, let's just greenlight a new game. Maybe we still get GX in the middle somewhere, but if we get a new F-Zero and a new Star Fox game in the next, like, 24 months, that is unbelievable. I mean, Sega currently has the God Studio with Ryuga Gotoku. Maybe Toshihiro Nagoshi will come back and direct another F-Zero game after doing GX back in like, what, 2004, 2005. So I don't really know who would do it. NST, of course, has that recent history with it. I don't think they would be doing a full game. Maybe it would be Nagoshi again, but RGG is so busy with Yakuza. They have Project Century. They're doing Virtua Fighter now. They do Monkey Ball. Is it possible that they are quietly doing an F-Zero game? That'd be freaking awesome. Also, to get more of a relationship between Nintendo and Sega in terms of actual development there. So much to ponder. Like I said earlier, I'm not sure how I feel about Samus Hunter. The more they tweet, the less confident I feel in what they're saying. But to give them their credit, they did not miss a single time in 2024, at least so far, unless Silksong doesn't happen. But they said Silksong would happen in the winter, and they actually tweeted that before winter even started. So there's still a pretty big window for Hollow Knight Silksong to pop up. And then also Prime 2 and 3, but they said February. I would imagine those get shadow dropped or maybe even announced in January, so in the next couple of weeks. But considering they were right, I feel like I have to talk about this. And if it ends up being true, this would be one of, like, the most interesting years for Nintendo if we get, you know, a 3D Mario, a Mario Kart, an Animal Crossing, a Star Fox game, an F-Zero game, maybe not released but announced. I mean, that would be absolutely crazy. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think of these rumors from a Samus Hunter? Do you believe them? Do you think they're bogus? I would like to get a conversation going down below. I would say right now I'm at like 50%, like 50-50. It sounds crazy. I mean, it absolutely sounds bonkers. It sounds like a Nintendo fan wish list kind of thing. Like, oh, we're getting a new F-Zero, and we're getting a new Star Fox game, and it's adventure styled and not another reboot of 64. But I just think, given how Nintendo's been acting the past couple years, we got Mario RPG Remake, we got Thousand Year Door. We're getting all of these long requested games and remakes. It would not completely shock me. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Of course, subscribe here for more Nintendo Switch news, speculation, theories, discussions, rumors, all that fun stuff. Follow me on Twitter at BoTalksGames, and check out my Nintendo collecting channel at It's Amiibo. Until next time, folks, peace.